Hello students. Today in this video we are going to talk about the topic momentum. It comes in the chapter 9, class 9, the lesson Force and Laws of Motion. In this chapter already you all have studied about several other topics such as what is meant by force, and force named as balanced and unbalanced forces. So when a balanced force acts on any object, it is equal in all the direction and hence the object stays at rest. And you have also seen that when an unbalanced force acts on an object, then in which particular direction the force acting is more, the object moves in that particular direction with certain velocity. And also you have seen that if the velocity of the object continuously changes, then the rate of change of velocity is known as acceleration. And we have studied about Newton's first law of motion. Already about motion, the topic motion of an object, we have studied in the previous lesson. And you here in this lesson, you have studied about the first law of motion. We are giving importance for the topic force and the laws of motion, and you all know that there are three laws of motion: Newton's first law, second law and third law of motion. So already in the first law of motion you all have seen about what is motion, and it depends upon the two terms, inertia and mass. And inertia is nothing but the object continues to stay in the state of rest or of motion, and it depends upon the mass of the object. And mass and inertia depends upon each other. So here in this class we are going to see about the term momentum, which is one of the important topics you have to understand clearly. So here let me give some small examples which we come across in our day-to-day life. You all know several games. Some of you are very much interested in playing tennis, and some of you are interested in cricket, etc., hockey, football, etc. Let us take the example of a tennis game. Here, when two people are playing, and if a person, the spectator, he gets a tennis ball come and hits the person, spectator, will he get hurt? No, because it is a small ball. The size of the ball is small and it comes with a less speed. But imagine a spectator in the stadium is watching a cricket match, and the cricket ball comes and hits him. What will happen to him? He gets hurt, and he gets more hurt compared to that of a tennis ball when it hits him. Can you say the reason why? Can you imagine why he gets so much hurt when even a cricket ball is not so big in size? But what is the reason why he gets hurt? Because it comes with a larger velocity. Let me give another example. A truck. You all know what is the size of a truck. A truck, it is too heavy, and when a truck is staying at rest in a corner of the road, then the person who is walking near the truck or in front of the truck, no need to worry about it because it will not hurt him. But in case if a person crosses a truck which is coming at a less speed, of 5 meter per second, and if he crosses it, then also even the truck is moving with a less speed, he may be killed when he crosses it, when it pass near him, on him. The reason is the truck has a heavy mass. Though its velocity is less, due to its mass, it may hurt the person or kill the person. Okay. Now let us take another example. You all know the size of a bullet. It is very small in size. Its mass is heavy, less compared to that of the truck. The mass of the bullet is less. And if a bullet is fired from a gun, the velocity of the bullet is so high, it may kill the person. Such a small bullet can kill a person. How is it possible? It is because the velocity at which the bullet is traveling is very high. So here we have to consider two things. One is mass of an object and the other one is the velocity of the object. Hence, Newton he studied about this, and he introduced a new quantity known as momentum. Momentum is such a quantity that it depends upon the mass and the velocity of an object. So, the definition for the word momentum is, and he represented, the momentum is represented by the letter P. Mass of an object is represented by the letter M and velocity of an object is represented by the letter V. So what is the definition for momentum? Momentum P of an object is defined as the product of its mass M and velocity V. If M is the mass of an object and V is the velocity of the object, then the momentum of the object depends upon the product of its mass and velocity. Hence, we say P is equal to mv. What is P? It is momentum. And what is m? Mass of the object. V is the velocity of the object. Hence, momentum of the object is equal to the product of its mass and its velocity. Suppose if you have an object of mass m and it is moving with a velocity v in a particular direction in which the force is acting on it, then the momentum of the object will be P is equal to m into v, and the object moves in which the velocity, the direction, along the direction of the velocity. So, momentum, and you all know that velocity is a vector quantity which has both direction as well as magnitude. Hence, momentum depends on velocity. Therefore, even momentum has both direction and magnitude. And the direction of momentum is the same as the direction of the velocity. In which direction the velocity is acting, in the same direction the momentum of the object also will be. Now let us see about the SI unit of momentum. You all know that mass is represented, the SI unit of mass is kilogram and the SI unit of velocity is meter per second. And since momentum is equal to mass into velocity, mass is kilogram into meter per second, that is SI unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second, or it is represented as kg meter second power minus 1. This momentum depends upon the force acting on it, and also it depends upon the time in which the force is acting on it. You imagine a car, its battery has become dead and it is not moving forward. Suppose if somebody come and pushes the car for certain time duration, then immediately it starts. So that is the time rate. In that particular time, it acquires the required momentum and then it starts to move. So here it depends upon that the rate of change of momentum depends upon the force acting on it and also the time duration. So from this, the second law of motion arises. The second law of motion, it states that the second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. So what does second law says? The rate of change of momentum, how the momentum is changing. The rate of change of momentum, it depends upon what? It depends upon the unbalanced force which is acting. The force which is acting on the object. So the second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. In which direction the force acts, it depends upon that. And we are going to see now the mathematical formulation of second law of motion. For this second law of motion, we have an equation, and how to get that we are going to see in the mathematical formulation of second law of motion. Hope you all understood about the term momentum, which is very important. We are going to see the mathematical formulation of second law of motion. In the mathematical formulation of second law of motion, how to get the mathematical formula to explain the second law of motion. Imagine that an object is moving in a straight line. When an object is moving in a straight line, with certain object, here we are considering the mass of the object as m. So let mass of the object be m, and since it is moving, initially it has certain velocity, we call it as the initial velocity, and it reaches certain distance, it moves certain distance, and finally it acquires some velocity. That is called the final velocity, and we represent it as v. And the time, t is the time duration from the initial to the final position, and only if a force is applied, the object moves. Here the object moves in a straight line with certain force, and the force is taken as F, and initial momentum, when it starts to move, initially it has a momentum which is represented by P1, that is mass into initial velocity u, and final momentum is represented by P2, that is mass into the final velocity v. And here we are going to use a letter K. It is nothing but it is known as constant of proportionality. Okay. Here, when an object is moving in a straight line, then the rate of change in momentum is given by the final momentum minus the initial momentum, P2 minus P1. So the rate of change of momentum is proportional to P2 minus P1. Then what is P2? It is mv minus P1 is mu. mv minus mu, or it is proportional to m into, here m is common. So m into v minus u, and when we consider even the time from the initial to the final position, we call it as rate of change of momentum, and it is proportional to mv minus u divided by time t. So this change in the momentum, it decreases with the time. Or we say that applied force F, this is nothing but it is applied force. Only when we apply force, the object, it starts to move in the direction of the force. So applied force F is proportional to m into v minus u divided by t. But we know that this v minus u divided by t is nothing but it is acceleration. Hence, we are going to replace v minus u divided by t as a. And here we have a proportional symbol. It is replaced by letter k, and this is known as proportionality constant. Constant of proportionality. Hence, F is equal to k into m into, this is a, k m a. And now, we don't want this proportionality constant, so we are going to equate it to 1. When the proportionality constant will be equal to 1, when F is 1, M is 1 and A is 1. So, we have to consider that we have an object of mass 1 kilogram which is moving with an acceleration of 1 meter per second, and the applied force becomes 1 Newton, then K will be equal to 1. Hence, when K is equal to 1, the force F is equal to mass into acceleration, and Newton is the unit of force. The other unit is mass is kilogram, acceleration is meter per second square. So, F is equal to ma kilogram meter per second square, or it is said as Newton. It is the unit of force. Hence, this is the formula we derive from the second law of motion, and according to the second law of motion, the force applied on an object, it is nothing but it is the product of the mass of the object and the acceleration. And this you can understand that if the mass of an object is high, very more, if it is more, then we require a large amount of force to bring it to rest. Otherwise, if the object is at rest, we need a large amount of, we have to apply a large amount of force to push the object. Hence, force is directly proportional to the mass. Similarly, if the object is moving with a very high acceleration, if the velocity, if it is more, if the object is moving with a high velocity, then we require a large amount of force to bring it to rest. Otherwise, when more amount of force is applied on the object, it moves faster. Its acceleration is also more. Okay. Now, I'll give you some of the simple experiment where this rate of change of momentum comes in our day-to-day life. You all might have seen a cricket player in the field when a ball is coming towards him, and the person is going to catch, the player is going to catch the ball. You might have seen that the player, it just catches the ball and brings his hands backward. The reason is, immediately if he catches the ball and if he keeps his hand in the same position, then the moving ball to come to rest, the rate of change of momentum it takes a very short interval of time to change. The moving ball to come to rest immediately, when it comes to rest immediately in a short interval of time, it exerts a large amount of force on his hand and he gets hurt. But when he brings his hand backward, the time duration is more. He takes a little bit longer time to bring it to rest. So the momentum takes a little bit more time to come to rest, and hence he will not be hurt. Similarly, you might have seen when the people during high jump, they jump on a cushion or a sand bed. Why they use cushion? Because when the person falls on a cushion, he goes inside and comes back. So the time duration to come to rest is more. Hence, it takes more time for the moving body to come to rest. Hence, here the momentum becomes zero slowly, and hence the person is not getting hurt. Suppose if he falls on any hard floor, then immediately the moving person comes to rest and a large amount of force is exerted on him and he gets hurt. Hence, these are some of the examples where the rate of change of momentum is applied, and thus the second law of motion states that force is nothing but it is the product of mass and acceleration, and the unit of force is Newton.